Thank you for coming to Godly Play. Sorry that you couldn't join us on the Zoom, but I'm glad you can be with us this way on the video. Let's sing our opening song. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Today is Epiphany. It is the very last day of the Christmas season. It's the 12th day of Christmas. And we will tell the whole Christmas story up to the Epiphany, which is when we remember the Magi who came. But let's start with how we got ready for Christmas. On the first Sunday of Advent, we remembered the prophets. A prophet is someone who comes so close to God, and God comes so close to them that they know what to say and do. They pointed the way. They pointed the way to Bethlehem. They didn't say exactly what would happen there, but they knew this was the place. Prophets can be people of any age, any gender. You might even be a prophet. Prophets pay attention. They know things. Something incredible is going to happen in Bethlehem. On the second Sunday of Advent, of getting ready to come close to Christmas, we remembered the Holy Family who were on the road to Bethlehem. Here they are. The Mother Mary, the Father Joseph, and the donkey. They had to make a long journey to Bethlehem. And Mary was about to have a baby, and it is very hard to walk when you're about to have a baby. So she would ride the donkey. But it's also very hard to ride a donkey when you're about to have a baby. So she would get down and walk. She rode and walked and walked and rode. They must have been some of the very last people coming down the road to Bethlehem that night. On the third Sunday of Advent, we remembered the shepherds. The shepherds were in their field. Here's one shepherd, and there were probably more, but this one will do to help us remember. And here's some sheep. The shepherds were in the field, keeping watch over their flocks and trying not to fall asleep and trying to stay up and make sure that the sheep stayed safe and no wolf came and got them. When suddenly, in the sky, there was a light so bright that it hurt their eyes, and their hearts started beating really fast with fear. And then they thought they heard something in the sky, which made them even more scared until they heard what it was. It was angels singing. Glory to God, the angels sang. Peace on earth, goodwill to all people. A king is born. Run, hurry. Go to Bethlehem and see the king who will change everything. Then on the fourth Sunday of Advent, we remembered the Magi, and we remember them again today. The Magi, some people call them three wise men or even three kings, but what they really are, the word Magi in their language is where we get our word for magic from. And that's because these Magi knew so much that people thought they were magic. And of all the things they knew the most about the stars. They knew how to read the stars in the sky, which would tell them information about the seasons and the years. They knew using the stars they could find out when would be a good time to cross a mountain pass or plant some crops. When would be a good time to maybe cross the ocean in a boat. And they looked at their star maps and there was a new star. This star was not on their maps. This star in the sky changed and moved. It was a wild star. They decided to follow it. It took them a very long time to get there. In fact, they're always coming late. But we remember them starting earlier on because they are on the road to Bethlehem too. Then on Christmas Day, remember the Christ child, the mystery of Christmas, the baby who was born, who comes to change everything. Here he is, the mystery of Christmas. And of all the creatures and people who were there that night, they were all very surprised, but none was more surprised than this old cow. Came in the stable that day, looking for her breakfast. And where her breakfast should be, she found a baby. Someone had put a cover on the straw. And all she could do was look and look at that child with her big, round eyes. Now, let's light some of our candles. This is the light of the prophets. This is the light of the Holy Family. This one is different. It's pink instead of purple. This is the candle of the shepherds, and it's a pink color to remind us of the joy they had in their hearts. And it's also pink for the Mother Mary, because without her, there would be no child. Here's another one that's also purple for the Magi. You know, purple is the color of getting ready. It's a solemn color, a serious color, because something good is happening. But when we come to Christmas, everything changes and it becomes white, which is, I think I need a new match. When it comes to Christmas, everything changes, and we use a white candle, which is the color of pure celebration. Let's take some time to enjoy these lights. And I want to show you one more thing. When the Magi came finally to Bethlehem, which they weren't there on time, but they got there eventually, they brought gifts with them. They brought gold. Gold is a gift for a king. Even though this king was not very wealthy. And they brought frankincense and they brought myrrh. Now, frankincense and myrrh are two different kinds of incense, and I wish you were in the room with me today so that you could smell them. But frankincense is a incense that you use in a temple, that the priests would use. Oh, this one is really burning. You see the black smoke that it makes. There it is. And myrrh is a different kind of incense. Myrrh smells different to me, and to me it does not smell as beautiful as the frankincense does. Myrrh is the incense that you use at a funeral when someone dies. These may seem like interesting gifts to bring a baby who is born. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Those are what the Magi brought. Now watch carefully. Some people don't pay attention and they miss this part. I want to show you what happens when I change the light. Do you see how this light is right here, just in one place? When I change it, it spreads out. It's not just here anymore, it's changing. It's going places that it didn't go before. And at some point, when we change these lights, they get thinner and thinner as they spread out, and eventually you may not be able to see them at all, but you may be able to sense them in another way, to smell them. Now, anywhere you go, you can be close to the light of the prophets, the light of the Holy Family, the light of the shepherds, and the Magi, and the Christ child. Thank you for coming today. I'm glad I got to share this with you. I'll sing the goodbye song with you, and then it'll be your turn to continue this story with the things that you have at home, or maybe with something else that you'll make. Maybe you'll work with candles, if that's allowed in your house, or if somebody can help you. Or maybe you'll make something that helps tell part of this story. Let's sing the goodbye song. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the love of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Happy Epiphany.